Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. This video will be about the Burning River Ultra Marathon race. So this was a very fun race. I enjoyed it. Burning River, I did the 100-miler. This was part of the Super Slam challenge that I did, and I'm glad I did it. It was a cool experience. This was a fun race because I was able to have somewhat of a crew. I ended up bringing my husband and my nephew with me to this race. So I would like to tell you my tale and how it went. So we drove up there the day before the race and stayed at a hotel. Tried to get some good sleep, but I didn't sleep that well. There was a lot of noisy kids at the hotel that we were staying at that ended up playing with a basketball outside our door for most of the night, so that was not easy to get some good rest. So I was kind of off to a rough start in the morning. But this was, it turned out to be okay, and of course I completed the race without a problem. But there was some ups and downs with this race for sure. Of all the Super Slam races that I did, or all the races I did this year, or that year, this was one of the more challenging ones for me, because I did have a few issues, and I'll explain. So there's a lot of ups and downs with this race. Be sure you train with some elevation before you get there, and just be ready for that. Nothing too crazy or too bad. It's not as bad as Mohican, but it's as far as elevation. But it did have some pretty good climbs that I was ready for, and I was training for it. But I was running into an issue with my iron level. Apparently, I was really lethargic and tired for this race. I thought that maybe it was because I just didn't sleep well the night before, but I ended up just feeling super drained and tired, more than normal through this race. So when I ended up finishing and going, after I went home, I made an appointment with my doctor and they did some blood work, and I was really low on iron. So women, that apparently we are prone to that, being long distance runners and doing that. Just be sure that you take an iron supplement every once in a while to make sure that your iron stays up, or have lots of greens or some meat if you eat that. But yeah, that really was a curveball for me at this race, made it quite the challenge. I just didn't feel right. So, but we figured out what the cause was, and we fixed it. It's an easy fix. You could just take an iron supplement and get right back to normal. But I struggled through this race either way because of it. But this race was really friendly. There was quite a few people that did the race, and everybody was real nice and positive and upbeat. Everybody at the aid stations were great. The aid stations were nice, nothing too over the top or crazy, but I enjoyed it. They had what we needed. There was a big aid station right at mile 50, I believe it was, and they had a lot of good food. I appreciated all the variety that they had there. So let's see what else. With this race, like I said, there's lots of ups and downs. I did get turned around in this race once. It may have been because I wasn't feeling 100%, but overnight, right before it was like, I think it was cornfields or some sort of fields, I ended up missing the turn and went the wrong way for about a mile and realized I'm not seeing any markers. So there was a section of the race around that area where it wasn't completely marked very well, or it could have been my own error, but other people were having some issues with it too and missed the turn as well. But just kind of be on the lookout or be aware. I'm sure they've corrected that by now, and you probably won't have a problem with it, but that was kind of an issue for me. So it is a beautiful race though. Most of it takes place in the woods, which I love, especially running through the woods at night. I love that part a lot. That was my favorite part. And you go through some campgrounds, lots of beautiful trees. I thought the scenery of this race was a lot of fun. One of my favorites actually. And then at the end of the race, you're gonna run through the town and you'll be on paved road before you get to the end. There's a spot there that you can run right past a beautiful waterfall. So just take 2 seconds to go look at the waterfall. It's right on the path, and that was neat to see, a nice surprise. I was happy to have a crew on this one. It was nice to have Matt and my nephew there. My nephew ran the last 10 miles with me. He was 10 years old at the time, and I was moving pretty slow by the end, so it wasn't too tough to keep up with me. So this race was the third race, if I remember correctly, at least the year that I did it, 2017, it was the third race of the Super Slam Challenge, and it was cool. It was nice. I enjoyed the race. I thought it was put together well, not too technical, like I said, not too rough of terrain. Just be sure that you either have a crew or you're paying attention to the arrows when you're going through the path towards the end when you're tired and exhausted. Try to stay up on your calories and your hydration. The aid stations were good, and you're able to have drop bags, of course, so have some snacks of your own that you bring, that you know work and that you will eat. I was starting, because I wasn't feeling well, I had a really hard time eating, so that was an added challenge to this race for me. So this wasn't my best race by far, but I made it through without a problem, and I would love to do it again. If I did it again, I'd be a lot more prepared, better rested, and I wouldn't have an issue with my iron. Now that I know that, I'm glad I do. But cool race. If you get the chance to do it, go for it. If you're able to do this Grand Slam or Super Slam challenge, that's a lot of fun to do. Definitely try that out. I'll try to do a video on all of that pretty soon. And have a great time, happy training, get out and enjoy the trails, and sign up for some races.